Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Give us a big wave or throw a five in the chat if you're not able to be on camera. Welcome back or welcome to the IPA call, income producing activity call. Hope you had a great Easter weekend. Hope it was restful, not too stressful. And I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it's like new season. It's like maybe it's just out here in San Diego, but it was super beautiful. If it wasn't beautiful for you, I'm sorry. You can always move to San Diego, by the way. Like, it's not a bad place. We got an open room. Come visit. But yeah, if you don't have a beautiful weekend, then you can borrow ours. But it feels like springtime, right? New seasons, new stuff. And we love this call. We love you. And on this call specifically, if you're newer, let us know, by the way, too. Anytime you're new or you know someone that's newer that's coming onto this call, shout them out in the chat below. But what we do is we go around and just like what Shelly Leach. Shelly, how do you pronounce your other last name? Lodgelin? Is that right?
Lodgeland, yes.
Lodgeland. Awesome. Sounds good. Jessica, we want to hear from you. So if you did something that generated income, you made a sale, you had an enrollment, nothing's too small, nothing's too big. They're all awesome. We love to hear from you specifically. We encourage you to share. Just hit that raise hand button on Zoom, and then it's under reactions, and you can raise your hand, and we'll go down the line in just a little bit. But yeah, so we can't wait to hear from you guys. So we got a lot going on. Things are moving very, very quickly in Partner Co. and in everything. I do want to make a first announcement here is, was anyone here a part of our first body balance challenge this year? Like, we had a lot of winners. Eric Minter was a winner, right? Kelly Smith was a winner. We took like almost half of the top prizes, right? Erica D'Amico was a winner. Amelia was a winner. I'm missing people. Like, we just won a lot. This team wins all the challenges. All right. We always win these things. So we're actually doing another one. So for those that either you're ready to get your summer body on, or for those of us, many of us are going to Punta Cana. We're about to go. We're ready for post all-inclusive resorts drops. Or if you're newer, this is a huge opportunity. And tonight, corporate is officially launching the Body Balance Challenge. So they'll be doing a call today to launch that. All of this will be in all the places. So, you're not going to miss it. But really start to put in your mind, like, how do we take your own health to the next level? And that's what I want to encourage us to just think about for now. Because as you get bought into this, then you can also lead other people through this too. The Body Balance Challenge is one of the promotions that we have seen for 13 years of doing the drops. It's always led to the best transformations, and it's also led to the most success in the team. I've seen so many people get promoted because they drive this like crazy, because you can re-engage all your customers, all your prospects, all your people, and it's like a second wind to push you into this next season. So start staying tuned. We're going to talk about this a lot. But the first thing is I'd encourage just pre-commit to saying, I'm going to get my best results ever, whatever that means for you. And I'm going to think, how do I bring people on the journey with me as well? If you're open to putting that thought in your mind, give me a wave or put a me in the comments below. Like, that's what I'm thinking about. My next best. My anti-dad bod campaign is continuing personally. And we're on that, So Cindy, anything else on your mind before we dive into?
No, other than I'm in agreement with you. I don't know about you guys, but just Easter is just such a time of rebirth and for me, reflection, right? Over what are the different things that I want this year? What do I want to make of this new season? And it's just such a great time of realignment for me. And I spent a lot of yesterday really thinking about that and really thinking how far we've come as a team and an organization, even from last Easter. There's been so much growth in not just our businesses, but us as people, right? Us as leaders. And I'm just so grateful for this entire organization, and specifically for all of the leaders who step up, step in, and help in some way, shape, or form. I just want you to know that it is so appreciated, because I know it's the slogan "better together," but it's true. We really do make, none of us are perfect, right? But when we come together, we do create a, I would say, beautifully perfect organization. So thank you, every single one of you. I'm really, really excited for everything that's happening and everything that continues to come our way. So that's it. That's what's on my mind today. Happy Easter. Happy belated Easter, everybody.
Thanks, Cindy. So appreciate it. And it's a fun time. And all roads to Eric Minter mentioned this. There's a countdown. We have 88 days until the first champions retreat in Punta Cana. It's coming around the corner, guys. So if you already opted in for this, put a 1 in the comments below. And I just want to re-encourage, any one of us can qualify for this, right? And I want you to start to think, who's the new stories? We have many qualified. We're going to talk more about this. This thing's popping. This is huge. Trips are major, and it's just this has been going. I was talking to Cindy and Lindsay the other day. They're like, yeah, this has been really successful because we're seeing guys step up, do things that you typically wouldn't do. So join us. It's open for everybody. If you haven't taken a look at this yet, please do. And you might be thinking, can I still do it? Absolutely. Every one of us here can. And if you commit yourself to this and also these calls and just doing the daily do, then you too are going to be able to qualify for this as well. All right. So with that, let's dive into some IPAs here. So I see Shelly, Leach, Lodgeland first.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had an awesome Easter weekend with family. I had a wonderful experience, and I'm not sure, probably many of you have the same thing. Family doesn't like you to talk about your business, your products, or anything. It's kind of like, we don't want to hear that here, and we have other people here. They don't need to hear your stuff. And so I just am cautious when I'm around family, but I try to talk a little bit, maybe just about my results or what I'm doing or whatever. And I happened to, again, I was at a bingo. My daughter-in-law does radio bingo every once in a while, and I'm there. And I wore a button that I got at the last event. There was a lady selling buttons that said, ask me about my hormone balancing drops or body balancing drops. So I'm wearing it at this bingo, and one lady asked me, what are these? So I was explaining to her about them, and she wants it for the hormone balancing, not for weight loss. I mean, weight loss, she said she would love, because as she's gotten older, of course, your hormones change and your body changes. So we went over lots of information, and I have sent her the information, and I'm following up with her. But my daughter-in-law's father overheard me talking to her. So he came and said, what are these things you're talking about? So I talked about them and the results people were getting and the health results as well. And then he said, well, I am really interested, but I need to talk to my doctor. So I said, okay. I sent him all the information he would need, all of what's in the drops. And then he contacted me the day before yesterday and said, do you have any of those things you have? I said, yes. Can you bring them with you for Easter dinner? And I said, of course I can. So we talked about it, and I shared with him about a few other products like Advantage. And he said, no, I just want to start with something. So he's starting with the drops. He said, I want to be on them for at least 6 months. He won't order from the website. He says, I'll see you enough that I can just get them from you. But he's starting on the drop. So that's really exciting.
Wow. Wow.
And from my perspective, it's when it's family like that and they're pretty negative, that's a huge win.
That's the biggest win ever. That gives all of us so much hope, Shelly. It's people are in a relationship, everyone's selling each other all the time. And when it comes to what we do, it's either they're selling you or you're selling them through your consistency, your persistence, and everything. So, Shelly, the fact that you finally cracked the code, like that, the cracked the shell, Huge deal. So way to be persistent and way to be patient as well, right? And I think it's very important that as communicators and as leaders that we lead people one step at a time. If you ever feel like people are pushing back, like they're taking a step back, then it's something to take a note on saying, maybe I need to calm down a little bit or maybe take a smaller step with them. People like to buy, but they don't like to feel sold, right? So the fact that that happened, Shelly, now you have a customer for 6 months and who here knows he's going to be a partner. He's going to share. He's going to be the amazing story. He's going to be more guys, which we need as well too. So that is huge. Shelly.
And I do have to say, so I said, so what did your doctor say? And he said, oh, I decided not to talk to my doctor. You told me these are homeopathic, and what do doctors know about homeopathy? So I thought that was great.
Come on. So I'm talking about. Congrats. Cindy, anything on that?
I just love that Shelly's over here cracking the shell, right? And I hear you when I say, or I hear you when you say that, sometimes your family and your closest friends are your hardest recruits. They're the hardest sell. Because they know us on a different level, right? We don't carry the same amount of authority that we do with a stranger than we do with our own family. And I know that that's so backwards, but it's just the truth, right? So early on in my network marketing career, there was a mentor who gave the analogy of when you're dealing with, especially with family and especially with close friends, the best thing you can do is be the cat, not the dog. Okay. Put cat, not the dog in the comments. And I want you to think about when you walk into somebody's house, right? What does the cat do? The cat just kind of will walk in, look at you, kind of rub up against your leg. You go to pet it and it runs away, right? It lets you know it's there, but it doesn't give you too much attention. What does the dog do? The dog it's jumping up, it's licking your face, it's smelling your private parts, right? Like it is there, right? Like I am here and I'm here to be here for you, right? And it wants a lot of attention. And a lot of times, especially when you're excited about your products, especially when you're excited about your opportunity, network marketers sometimes have a tendency, especially with close family and friends, to be the dog, right? We walk into the house and we're genuinely passionate and excited and we're panting and we're licking their faces and we're thinking we're doing the right thing by sharing. When actually the best thing that we can do is kind of let them know you're there, right? And kind of rub up against their leg and then change the subject. So when I am dealing with family, a lot of them do follow me on social media. They know what I'm doing. They see my stuff. I continue to love their stuff. I genuinely love my family, right? And if they ask me about the drops, if they ask me about business, I will very quickly be like, oh my gosh, it's totally changed my life, right? Like I love these things. I won't go a day without them. But anyways, enough about me. What's going on with you? I will change it. They will have to beg me for information versus me necessarily trying to overly sell them on it. They pick up on that, right? And I have a lot of family that are customers and even brand partners. And it's because I'm very, very careful. I never, ever want them to feel pitched, but they know what I sell. They know what I do, and they know that I'm here if and when they're ready to purchase or join. So that's just be the cat, not the dog. That's my feedback. Thank you, Shelly.
Love that. Congrats. Eric said IPAs rub up against their leg. Yes. That's going to be a reel that Eric's going to make. And shout out.
There he goes. Look at him.
Hello.
He's embarrassed.
Love it. And shout out to, if you're in Canada of Canadians, there's a major Calgary event. It's the Canada launch. So keep this in mind as you're prospecting, as you're expanding. But May 29th, that's going on. We'll see Shelly there. Many people are going. So if that's in your mind or you have people, continue to drive them there. I mean, you got literally all the who's who that's coming. This is basically a Destin 2.0. but in Calgary specifically. So that'll be going on there. All right, Miss Twyla.
Hello, everyone, and I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. We all got nice and plump. Good thing for skinny drops.
Yes.
So mine was at a family event again. I'm here at Easter dinner, and my sister comes in, and my mom's there, and my mom's got the drops, but she's not been taking them. And she looked at me, she says, "Man, you've lost a lot of weight." And I said, "Yeah." And I didn't say anything about it. My sister comes around, she goes, "What are you taking?" And I said, "I'm taking the drops and a few other things." And she goes, "Okay." And I didn't push it anymore. I just kind of, we went in, made dinner, got dinner going. She says, "I really need to lose weight." And this is my sister that's the nurse. So as we're leaving, I got her the drops, the Advantage, and the Skinny and the Sugar Stop. And she's going to start them today.
Wow. So how did it go, Twyla, from her asking the buying question to you actually selling that?
Well, she just said, "What are you doing?" Because she sees me, and I haven't seen her, even though we only live like 2 miles apart. Um, she's busy doing her thing. I took her to her doctor's appointment for her knee rehabilitation thing, and then I took her to her doctor appointment, and then I haven't seen her for like 2 months, literally. And we talk, but we don't see each other. And she's looking at me and she's going, "It's working what you're doing." And I go, "Yeah." You know, I'm not going to be pushy with her because you can't push family. My mom, she quit taking the drops. And she saw me at Easter and she's like, "I'm going to go back on my drops." She's got like 3 months worth that she didn't take. And I have another one probably tomorrow. I got to go see somebody today that I met at a convention, or not a convention, at a, what do you call it? Banquet that we went on Saturday, and I have an appointment with her today. So we'll see if we have another one for tomorrow.
Awesome. Cindy?
Twyla was the cat, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, right? She kind of acknowledged her weight loss. She answered what she was doing to achieve it, and then she kind of moved on. And then what did you say was your mom? Your mom that yes, then her mom was like, "I really need to go back on my drops," right? Your results are going to sell and recruit more people than you can even wrap your mind around. So by being consistent, being a consistent product of the product, and when it comes to family and close friends, just staying the course. Sorry, I was blurry. Staying the course. And again, that analogy always comes back to me, the cat, not the dog. Because naturally, when we change the subject, people want to redirect it, right? They were not done with the conversation, but when they have to continuously bring it up, what happens is they start to sell themselves, just like Twyla's mom versus you selling them on the product. So I love that so much, Twyla. I love that you shared that.
Congratulations.
Thank you
big
all.
reason to promote the Body Balance Challenge like crazy, because Twyla entered the Body Balance Challenge. She didn't win, but her results through that were ridiculously crazy. So to use that opportunity to build your $1 million story, huge thing. So,
I actually won one of the $100.
yeah, you won that. Okay, even better. Awesome. Congrats, Twyla. Let's go. Katie, you're next.
All right. I love follow-ups. This IPA has to do with an existing customer that did not do a subscription. And so I just went with the boards, asked, "Hey, how's it go?" Well, actually, my 14-day follow-up with her was a little different because she started recommending to other people, "Hey, you need to get these." And she actually posted her results of being 6 pounds down and having energy and loving it. And so my follow-up was, "Hey, I saw what you commented. That's awesome. You are on subscription, aren't you?" She said, "No." I said, "Well, make sure you go ahead and do that and add the Advantage." So I wasn't sure she had done that. And I just looked at my back office and there's 100 PV. So the point is get that volume going every week, every month, because that's my goal. I want to have consistency. And just that right there. I mean, I went from a one-time sale. By the way, that person came from TikTok, and I did move them over to Facebook Messenger where we could have a conversation and put them in the drop revolution. So it is a process. And then of course she said, I don't want to sell, I don't want to do this and that, although she's doing it anyway. So we'll see what happens.
Oh man, that is so good. So this is like the base hits of network marketing of what we do. So you're getting them in, you get them on the drops, and then you're following up intentionally and you're moving them down this path. So now that she is, and follow up is key, right? So if you don't follow up, then that's not going to happen. But what Katie just said needs to be burned into your subconscious because that is the move. That flip right there, that checkup in the first 14 days is huge. And now that she's posting, something that you could do too, I'm sure Cindy has things to talk about this as well. Go back and if you're not yet already, support the post that she made, drop some testimonials in there, really look at who's liking her post, who's commenting on her post, and you can basically work her post for her. And then you can start having some conversations with her and her people. And the goal that I would have is make a sale ASAP. And then at that point, it's a very simple upsell. Hey, got this new customer. She came from your post and, I can take the sale, but it came from your post. Do you want to make money from this? And why not? It's hard to say no for someone to put money in her pocket. So congratulations on that. Cindy, anything else you would say on that?
Yeah, I actually have a follow-up question for you, Katie, because there's probably a lot of people on here sitting and listening and thinking, I wish I could be more like Katie. I wish I loved the follow-up, right? When in fact, most people, I would say probably 99% of people are so afraid of the follow-up. They're not only do they not like it, they're afraid of it. They're like, but what if they didn't like it? What if it didn't work? What if, right? Drop me in the comments if you have ever been afraid of follow-up or still are, okay? Because I want to ask you, Katie, the very first words out of your mouth were, I love follow-up. And I want to know, have you always loved follow-up or has it been a muscle that you have strengthened over time?
I'm scared of follow-ups because they're not always good. So it is a muscle. And I'm just crossing my fingers every time I follow up. Please be good news. Please be good news. And it's either going to be good news or it isn't, and you're not going to find out until you ask. So that's just the way I approach it.
Exactly. And I love that you were honest that, listen, I'm still afraid of it, but you're still doing it and you're still having experiences like exactly the one you just mentioned that are worth a couple of people going, I didn't love it. I couldn't remember to take it. It didn't work for me. Like the most important thing here is I once heard somebody flip this saying that so many of us are guilty of saying, and it's we constantly ask ourselves, what's the worst that could happen, right? We're like, I'm going to send this message. What's the worst that can happen? And when we ask ourselves these questions, we start scanning for all of the worst case scenarios, right? And then that can cause us to pause and go, oh my gosh, I don't want any of those things to happen. And then we don't do the thing we need to do in order to grow our business, right? So when you're feeling nervous, right? And you're like, I know I need to do this activity. I know I need to follow up. I know I need to connect. I know. Instead of asking yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? I want you to start to play mind tricks on yourself and ask yourself, what's the best thing that could happen here? What's the best thing that could happen? Best thing could happen is they need another box of drops. Best thing that they could happen is they dropped 10 pounds in 4 weeks. The best thing that could happen is you get a new brand partner out of it, right? Because then your brain starts scanning for all of the best case scenarios and you're more likely to go and take action in your business. Then if, if they don't like it, then so what? You look for the next best case scenario, okay? So all of these little tricks that you can start to do and train yourself to do over time will actually make you start doing the things you need to do in order to grow and scale your business. So that's just something that I've started to do over the past, honestly, it was probably 3 years ago that I learned that trick, and it helps you get out of your own way sometimes. So everybody who dropped me in the comments, the next time you have something to do, like follow up, I want you to start to ask yourself, what's the best thing that could happen? By following up, your brain will scan for all of those best case scenarios and you're more likely to actually hit send. So thank you, Katie.
Love it. Congrats, Katie. Miss Punta Cana trip winner. Come on. Let's go. Mike Vu.
All right. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Sorry, my voice is a little gone. I guess playing with all the kids at Easter kind of got me a little sick. A little under the weather. But was it yeah, my IPA last week. I talked to one of my cousins. I was over at his house for we kind of had like a little family meeting because his dad wasn't feeling too well. So, we just came over and I just kind of asked him a question like, "Hey, did you want to do this with me?" And he was like, "Yeah, I need to lose weight because I've been getting pretty big and my job is getting very hard for me." And so I told him that I'm planning to be on it for like 6 months. And so he was like, "Well, whatever you're doing, I'll do that with you as well too. I'll stay on it for 6 months as well too." And so I got him the was it so a week later, which was yesterday at Easter, we decided to go out and walk together. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to buy whatever that you recommend me." And so he got the 4 pack with was it all the vitamins and even the Pear Nourish. And so yeah, I was kind of like I was like, "Oh shoot, you gonna get that?" He was like, "Yeah, man, whatever you're doing, I'll do it with you too." And so I was kind of happy that he decided to do that with me too. So I was like, that's some great news. So you know, he got started. So basically, he got started on the drops with me too. And then later on that day, we got done going out on our morning walk, and I went to a family. One of my cousins were getting married, and I got over there, and everyone just coming up to me and saying, "Hey, everyone's been watching my post, but they're over here not liking my post or commenting on my posts." And they're like, "Hey, we noticed that you've been doing this every morning. You look great. And I'm just like, "Oh, awesome." And then they're over here telling me that, yeah, I'm trying to like lose weight now too. And so I was like, "Hey, what's crazy too is that last week I also got one of their brothers on it as well too, or both of their brothers on it." And I said to him like, "Hey, why don't you just do this with me and your brothers? We're all doing it." And then I found out that that brother that I just got on the drops, I think he lost like 6 or 8 pounds in like 5 days. And so that kind of got him to be a little excited. So he, right on the spot, he was like, "Well, how much is it? I'll pay you right now." I was like, it's crazy. I actually have a box in my bag right now. And, you know, when, was it, when the event is done, I could just hand it to you. And so after everything was said and done, he ended up buying a drop from me. So I was kind of happy with that. So yeah, that was my IPA for the weekend.
I'll go first. Mike, you're amazing. You really are. There was a couple of things that really stood out to me, and you probably saw it in the chat when a couple people have said it. And it's a great approach. It's a great approach for people that you know in your life that are, I would say, very warm, hot leads, right? Of want to do this with me, right? Want to do this with me is an incredible approach. I agree, Danielle, because it's a way of doing something that is hard in a way that's not alone, right? It's hard to lose weight, right? Sometimes weight loss can feel like a full-time job, right?
Mhm.
And when you have somebody, kind of a weight loss buddy, a weight loss community, right? It can make it a little bit easier. And it lets that person know that you're in it with them. Your struggles are my struggles too.
Yeah.
Right? Let's do this together. Let's get healthy together. And I would argue the people that do have at least one other person that's losing weight with you, you are more likely to stick to the program, right? I'm going back to Eric Minter's terminology. I love talking about the program now. Which is exactly what you did, right? You sold him a program. It wasn't just the drops. He also got Pure Nourish. He got a couple of other things. It sounds like that tells me that he is really looking for a result and he's excited about doing it with you. So that is just an incredible, incredible approach. I love it so much. There was one more thing. Oh, I love that you said you're like, so crazy. I just happen to have a box in my bag.
Yeah.
You guys make it a habit of just happening to have one in your bag, in your car, in your whatever, because you are going to find yourself in these kinds of conversations. And when you have something to give somebody kind of that instant satisfaction, the more likely they are to actually do this with you. So thank you so much for sharing, Mike. Incredible, incredible IPA today.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
done. Well done. I got nothing more. That was perfect. Christy. Let's make sure we can unmute you real quick.
Christy or Kristen?
Oh, Christy, then Kristen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let's see if we get, but I can't wait to hear from you, Kristen. Christy, let me know if you could unmute yourself on the bottom left on your phone. There you are.
Okay. So I went to get a massage last week, not really thinking about the drops or anything. And I get in there and she says, "Hey, I've been seeing your posts on Facebook. What is that?" And so I told her, and I should have been thinking because she's really into homeopathic stuff. And anyway, so I saw your post. And so we go on talking about it. And she goes, "Well, I think I'd like to try that." And I said, "Oh, okay." She said, "Do you have any with you?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And so we kept talking. And she said, "You know, I know a lot of people. I think that I could get you a lot of business." And I said, "Oh, that'd be great." And we keep talking. She goes, "Maybe I should just sell it." And I'm like, "Yes." I said, "Yeah, that would be even greater if you were doing it yourself because you could make a lot of money." And she's not saying names, but she's saying, "I know this guy and I know he's wanting to lose weight and blah, blah, blah." And so anyway, so I get ready to pay and I said, "I need to go out and get my phone because I need to put in for my next appointment." And she said, "And don't forget those drops." And I said, "I won't. I'm going out to get them right now." So that's my IPA for this week.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. Did she join you yet as a partner?
Not yet. Not
Okay,
yet.
she's about to.
Yes. I think probably in the next week she will.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The saying that comes to mind, Chrissy, when I hear your story is you can never say the right thing to the wrong person. You can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And just a reminder, because so many times, at least for me, I struggle when I'm posting and I'm talking and I feel like things aren't clicking and I'm like, am I doing something wrong? It kind of like feels that way. And then when I hear a story like yours, it just reminds me there are people that are looking for a solution, both as a product and a business. And when you find them, you don't have to sell them. They sell themselves like in this scenario. So it's like, really? Like that actually happened too. Like, oh my gosh. So way to be prepared. You had your drops ready, right? Even though you weren't thinking about the drops there, you still were ready. And that shows expectancy. That shows that you're like, I don't know where it's going to come from, but it's going to happen. And obviously, when the questions came, you were ready to answer them too. So it's better to be properly prepared without an opportunity to be prepared than have an opportunity without being properly prepared. You were prepared. So way to go on that. So love that. Absolutely. Paula wanted to chime in on this. Paula?
Christy's being very modest. She has other IPAs she has not shared. She was very bold and actually ordered her first 10 pack before I did. And I was, a brand partner and shared with her, and then she joined me. So, and she sold out of her 10 pack before I sold out of mine. So she is doing amazing. And the way that she shares, one day I came over to her house because she was signing her neighbor up and she just couldn't get it to work. And so I said, well, I'll just come over. And so I stopped by and she just started grabbing her different things, her sugar stop that she was using out of the cabinet and sharing with her neighbor. And I was like, wow, she's good at this. Like, I feel salesy when I do it. So she just did it naturally. And I came home and I told my husband, I said, I'm over here like hoarding my stuff for myself. Like, I got to have this. I don't want to run out. And I just need to be sharing it like she's doing, because then people want to have whatever she's sharing. So, she's taught me a lot too. And she's had multiple IPAs that she's not got on and shared. So I wanted to share that also.
Come on. Congratulations. Thanks for sharing that, Paula. Great leadership there. And good reminder as well, because remember, we have like 9 days left for this full throttle level up opportunity right now to drive every single one of us and our people to ultimate. So if that's been something on your mind, or you're thinking about people to help us, will too, use this as an opportunity. 10 packs are a great way to get up to ultimate, and just take a note from what Christy did and just be prepared and start to share there and grab that. Remember, if you go ultimate, you get a free PXP ticket and lifestyle credits. If you help 3 people go ultimate that are personally sponsored, you also get a PXP ticket as well too. So we got like 9 days on the clock if you haven't done that yet. And it's a major, major deal. So big shout out to you, by the way. I know there's many people that are going ultimate. I know that Jan Shipman just went ultimate and supervisor, which was, I know, is their goal, is their target, and she just went for it. So super exciting to hear that. And Christy, ultimate too. Come on, Christy. Congratulations. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. Cindy, we'll go one by one if you don't mind. We have 2 more hands. So Kristen, you're next.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, I have the beach behind me. That's funny. I just moved to Alabama. So we packed up our whole family from 4,000 square feet and we moved into an RV of 400 square feet to break free of the crazy cycle and everything in real estate, so we could do the drops business and sustain our family and our life here. So my husband joined me on the call this weekend with you, which was like perfect timing to get us refocused and recommitted to going all in on Partner Co. and the drops and everything you guys have. We're super excited about it. For a couple of weeks, I was really intentional on my Facebook posts, 9 and 3, 9 and 3, 9 and 3. And I could really tell it was working. I have a transaction coordinator. She's basically like my assistant. And I was on the phone with her on our weekly follow-up call. And she's like, well, what are you going to do with your real estate business? I said, well, actually, I'm doing this drops business. Have you seen my posts? She's like, yeah, actually, I did. And I really wanted to ask you about that because I'm having some trouble, with my hormones, and I have things going on, and, I'm having some struggles, and I can tell I'm having issues. And I said, well, these are amazing. And I told her about them. She's like, I'd like to get a box. So I went ahead and shipped her a box. And now she's going to be going on subscription. And I'm thinking about her also for the business because, real estate is down for us right now. So this would be a great opportunity for her to really get going. She's planning on having a baby and everything like that. So I'm super excited to get her started. And then my hairstylist, I'm friends with her on Facebook, and I was tagging her on Eric's drop talks and the things that he was doing because he's a hairstylist. And when I went in to get my hair done, she's like, what was that thing you tagged me on? I said, oh, it was the drops, and this is what it's all about, and I'm feeling amazing. And she's like, yeah, your hair is fantastic. She's like, I can tell a difference. And I was telling her about everything, and she's like, "Oh, let me tell the owner. Hey, Melinda, come here." She called the owner over, and the owner's like, "Oh, this is great. We can sell them here in the shop. Like they have a little boutique with like clothing and jewelry and all these cool things." And she's like, "Let's have a party. I'll invite everybody on my Facebook group. I'll invite, we can do a whole like get together with champagne and everything here right at the salon. It'll be a win-win because all of your friends can come and they'll learn about the salon. And then, all my people from the salon will come and you can tell them about the drops." So it was just like a very simple way in, to start tagging people and talking about it. So those are my two IPAs. And this is my first time sharing, by the way.
First of all, I love that you have the beach in the background. Second of all, I know that this move has taken so much
Oh my gosh, you
get
have no
from
idea.
point A to point B. So I'm glad to hear that you are there in Alabama, all settled. I know that that has been a huge undertaking for you. And we're so excited that you're here, you're on this call, and you're sharing, because what you shared is so, so important and powerful. And I hope that everybody takes something away. Sometimes when we're doing these little things like tagging somebody in a video, following up with them, sending them a Zoom link, you feel like you're doing a lot and nothing is really happening at the moment. And you might have these thoughts of, why am I doing this? Nobody's responding, right? Or nobody's reacting. But this right here is proof that if you just continue to do the do when the timing is right for the other individual, not your timing, their timing, that it will happen, and it has the potential to happen in a big, big way, like with Kristen. I mean, what a cool thing to be sitting in your hairstylist chair, and simply because you tagged her on a video that another stylist did, and you were able to have that conversation, this just opened up an entirely new line of business for you that could really, really have a lot of success, not only for you, but for her as well. So congratulations, Kristen. So glad you're moved. So glad you're settled. We just absolutely adore you.
Thank you. And also you hear, I overheard a couple of other conversations with other stylists, with women in the chair, talking about their struggles with weight loss and other things going on in their life. So the hairstylist thing, the connection there is awesome because you tell them everything. They're like your BFF. So you talk about those things, and it's the perfect way for the stylist to tell them about the drops. So thank you.
Man, congratulations, Kristen. By the way, I think we need to do a drop talk geared towards realtors. Would you be down to do that with us at one point?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. We hear some realtors in mind, by the way. I know. We'll talk to you about that. Last but not least, Mr. Sunny Yang.
Yes, it's not really my IPA. I just remember I've been busy over in my family's in Charlotte, so Mike's been contacting me too. And then when I have like a little free time, I help him out. And then Mike left out two very important IPA too that happened over the weekend. So when I was still busy with my family, he like, "Hey, can you help me with this real quick?" Like, "Oh, hold on, let me try to escape from my family and let me help you out." And then he left out one really important IPA where like he got one of his cousins that his cousin finally got back to him, and then he that cousin gave him $900 to buy whatever products that that Mike can recommend him. I'm like, oh dang, that's so crazy that you're just like out there at your parties and you're just sharing your testimonies and all the stuff that whatever products that can help their dad that's going or whatever health problems that they have. So he was doing all that. Then later on the day, I was still busy, and he texted me again, like, "Hey, so can you give me a link for the 4-pack?" Like, okay, you got another customer sales? Like, yeah, I do. Like, okay, like I'm busy right now, but let me get back to you on that. So I set up his 4-pack link, and then I shared it to him right away. He's like, "Yeah, I got another customer sales." Like, dang, all right, keep it going. When I'm free, I'll try to chime in when I can help you out. So we're just like tag teaming here, even though we're like both busy with our like family functions out here. So it's pretty amazing. So I had to really put that in because that was like, oh man, that got me pumped up too. I got to share it with my family as well.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I love that tag team, that 1-2 punch. Congrats. Love that support, guys. All right. What an awesome IPA. Who here's pumped up for the week? I'm ready to go. So right after this, remember, if you're checking off your personal development box, we love our Breakfast of Champions call, and we're featuring more and more names and people and everyone. Today, we have Jesse Pamatuan. If you don't know Jesse, him and Merrifield, they're officers. They're incredibly successful in many different things, but he's going to be talking all about the power of routines today. So in 15 minutes, that will be there. I've dropped the link here in the chats below. We got our body balance call going on today as well too. Lots of things. Take advantage. And other than that, we'll enter into a time of prayer. So if you want to linger for that, absolutely stay. If not, feel free to pop off. We absolutely honor that as well too. And let's go. Dear Father, just thank you so much for just what you did at the cross. Thank you that because of what you did, it gives us a different level of boldness. And I think about the disciples before and after the Holy Spirit came. They were scared, they were dejected, they were rejected, they thought they weren't good enough. And all of a sudden, on the day of Pentecost, Holy Spirit came and they were filled and they were boldened. And I remember just Peter preaching and being able to bring 3,000 people to you, Lord. And I feel like there's Peters on this line, people that thought that they were not strong, people that thought that they were not bold. And that because of what you did, we just simply accepted by faith. And we thank you that you give us the right words and opportunities and power to be able to carry the work that you've already predestined for each and every single one of us. So open up our eyes today, Lord, so that we can see the people that you've called us to serve and give us the right things to do at the right time in the right ways. And just have that explode because of what you've done. So we thank you for all of this and this anointing of boldness in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey guys, have a great one. Talk soon.
Amen.
Such a great IPA.
Thank
Love
you.
you all.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
Shelley.
you.
Yours
And
too.
So
thank
much.
you.
Bye.
Thank
See
you.
Bye.
Thanks, James.
Goodbye. Have a great
Amen.
day.
Great
Thank you,
IPA.
everyone,
Bye.
for
Thanks,
sharing.
everybody.
Thank you and God bless.
God bless you.
Bye.